Hello, everybody. How we doing on this nice Saturday night? I hope everybody's chilling, having some good relaxing from work. If you're not working today, or if you're working today, I hope that you're off now. That's good, Clover. I'm glad that you're doing good. It's always good to hear that my friends are having chill times, or just being good in general. Today was a busy day for Hika a little bit. I went out and I got the last of my Christmas gifts from my family, and holy crap, it was so busy out there. There was so many like people out in the store, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy crap! So I was glad I was able to get what I can get and then get out. But there was a line at the self checkout that was just it was so long. It was absolutely crazy. And then Hika ordered himself a new PC. Yeah, it was crazy. Um, yeah, I ordered a new PC and I'm excited for it. I'm hoping it doesn't do what it did last time with it's through a different site and I'll be paying it off through the months, but my friend 3 suggested this one for me, so I'm really hoping that this one actually gets sent to me and not is like an Amazon situation where they're like, nope, we can't get it to you. And I think the only reason it never sent was because my address on my card didn't match where I moved. And I think that's the reason why. It was some weird uh specific crap where it's like, hey, you can't order this isn't where you live. Even though I had done that before with like noise canceling foam. So I don't know. It was weird. It was stupid. But that new PC should be arriving sometime after Christmas. So I'm super excited about it. I'm hoping that it changes things up for streams, makes things a little bit more accessible with newer games, or, makes streams less heavy in general on my one PC. How I'm gonna have it is like uh a two PC setup. The only Amazon you want is the tall ladies. That's freaking true right there. I need a tall woman in my life that will lift me up and say, it's time for a hug right now." But today I thought it would be really fun to I did this a long time ago where I connected a bunch of Christmas movies together. I was like, this is how these all work together. Like, this is my own headcanon of how all these movies exist in the same universe, or like parallel universes of like that's why I wrote timelines up there, where I'm just like they could be in like a different timeline or something of like a shoot off of this. So we're not only covering like yeah, it's the Hika conspiracy. It was very much like that. That's why I have the cork board and everything. I used to have a photo of the actual one that I made a while back. I was trying to find it on my laptop, but I think I cleared it out. I was like, I'll never use this again, but damn, I should have just saved it and sent it to myself somewhere. But before I started stream, I was getting all the stuff ready. So we're gonna be making the timeline as we go, and talking about my theories of why they connect to each other. So for the movies, we have at least I think we have like 40 that we're gonna go through that I gotta look through. Let me look. How many do we got? We have 44. Yeah. Or no, wait, we have like 42 because two of these images are not the Christmas things. It's the cork board. I was trying to upload it and then it wouldn't upload for some reason, so I had to take like a screenshot of it and then upload it, which is weird. Okay, for these movies, what is going on here? And it's already gonna be trouble with trying to put this in here. Okay, give me 1 second. Gonna have to screenshot this and then put it in there. Where's it at? There it is. Okay. And then copy this. Okay. Starting off with our timeline, we're doing the Christmas Carol movie. Or Christmas Carol in general. It doesn't have to be just this version. It could be like the Scrooge McDuck version. Any version of Christmas Carol. In my mindset, how this timeline starts is that Scrooge is involved somehow. He's visited by the three ghosts. He learns his lessons, and from there on, it starts a tradition of many ghosts coming and visiting this family's timeline. That's right. I've connected Scrooge's like Scrooge is like the beginning of this timeline's family in my head. It's like everybody spawns off of him. Yeah, the Ebenezer Scrooge origins. The Scrooge is like the beginning of this timeline. So all the ghosts visit him and everything. And then the next movie to come in line would be, where's it at? A Wonderful Life. Now I haven't seen It's a Wonderful Life myself, but I know the synopsis of the movie is that this guy is like basically at the end of his life, and he's like, I he's like, I regret all these things and stuff like that, and he's down, and then Angel comes and shows him the past and is like, oh hey Jay, how's it going? We're already starting our timeline. Uh so we're starting the timeline off with Christmas Carol, and I explained that in this headcanon of mine for the Christmas movies, Ebenezer Scrooge is like the starting off point where the ghosts visit him, and then for the rest of like the timeline going forward, it's like a tradition that like one of his family members has some sort of problem or is like a jerk, and then some supernatural thing happens or something phenomenal happens in their life to change and make them learn a lesson. And then I also kind of had like a timeline of like the Santas of this universe as well. But yeah, Christmas Carol is like, it doesn't matter which version. This is just the version that I picked. It could be like the Scrooge McDuck one, or like any version that takes place around like 1800 times. That's where it starts for me. Put Gundam 0080 War in the pocket at the end. Uh, I need to have more people like suggest Christmas movies, so that way I can like start fitting them in to this as well. Die Hard is on the list, so I think you guys will be interested to hear my theory on like how Die Hard fits in with connecting to another movie. But Wonderful Life is the next one, and I was explaining that basically this one is connected because this guy's like, I regret everything that I did in my life and whatnot. I gotta transform this one. This would be the next in line right here. Is an OVA series, but it takes place around Christmas time. Yeah, that would work because I have movies that aren't necessarily Christmas movies, but they take place around Christmas. So it kind of connects in that way for me. Because I have Iron Man 3 on here as well. And then I have another superhero movie as well. Um, from here, I forget where I put it. What else I had next for, but I know that there's an offshoot universe here that I want to talk about. Where is it at? Here it is. The Muppet Christmas Carol universe. So we have the original universe, but then we also have a Muppet universe that shoots off from this. Since there's more than one Muppet Christmas movie, there has to be at least a universe of its own now that it exists. That's actually in this timeline, Darcy. I gotta make this all fit on this cork board. But Gremlins does exist. I think I had it take place the year after Die Hard. That scares you? What scares you? That's in this timeline? I gotta start drawing lines and crap to make sure that everybody knows where everything's at. Oh, is there one that It's a Wonderful Life? I didn't know there was one. I think so. I've not I've not seen the Muppets one in a while. No, this is not what I want to grab. Okay, this will be our red string that'll connect everything here. So these are connected right here, and then we'll have like a blue line that stands for like alternate universes. So alternate universe Christmas Carol over here in the Muppets area. When is Mariah Carey summoned from the frozen hell? That's a good question. This is a random playlist that I have on Spotify, so at some point, I would assume. Forget the name, but Kermit sees the world if he was never born, and Miss Piggy is scamming people with a bad Jamaican accent over the phone. What? What? No, Miss Piggy, you can't do that. That's terrible. What would it happen to be where is it? It's on this list. It's a very Muppet Christmas. I think that's what this is called. Let me check when I throw it in here. Yeah, it's a very merry Muppet Christmas movie. Is it this one? This is the only other Muppet movie I could find that was related. I know the plot is just they basically are losing the Muppet Theater, so then they have to have an angel come help or something like that. Elf shows up at another point. I've got to figure out where I'm gonna fit it in all this because I know that I had it in here for a certain reason because of the Santa that's in it. Oh, was it Whoopi Goldberg? That would make sense. Whoopi Goldberg was like famous during that time. She was God. I can see that too. Having a wonderful Christmas time. And we have this where it's like all the way from the past, all the way to like modern times with this Muppet timeline over here. Let me see what did I have next for. I think I had Christmas Story as my next one for the timeline. Yeah, that makes sense. It's underneath my mailman hat. I have to be in full outfit for my job, okay? As the person who delivers all the mail and all the presents to children on Christmas Eve and Christmas, I have to. I have to be wearing this. I can't wear anything else. It's like you see Santa and he doesn't have his outfit on. You're like, "What the hell are you doing, Santa? Get back to work." having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Oh, okay. So this is a short thing that I gotta like throw out here. So we're gonna go take like a detour for a minute. There's also a made-for-TV Muppets crossover with Sesame Street and Fraggle Rock. Oh, like a Christmas one? So year long. Okay, so we got to take a detour from the main timeline to talk about the universe here, or not the universe, but like the start of like Christmas stuff. Takes place at Fozzie's mom's house. Oh, really? Wow. I got to see that then. All right, I got to erase this. Okay, I gotta open this Christmas thing up here real quick. Okay. Transform all of these, make it smaller, and then move it forward here a little bit because I forgot to mention that this is like the beginning of like a certain part of it, but I had an idea to talk about uh this other part, like these other movies. Oh, so you're doing all these in your hidden 5 foot thick lead lined bomb shelter. Don't want Santa coming and breaking down your door because of secret psychic mind reading power. Of course, all of that, of course. How did you know? How did you know? Oh, this is the dirty Paul McCartney Christmas song. Is it? This is Kesha. Or at least that's what it said on Spotify. Or was that the previous song? You have been naughty, Hikaru, he says while he kicks your ass and covers you in coal dusting. Oh, it was? Oh, okay. I was like, I couldn't tell. I wasn't paying attention to my songs. Where? Oh, okay. This is the next one that we're gonna be talking about. We're talking about the Rankin Bass, the Rankin Bass specials. These are like the beginning of time, like beginning of Christmas time here. So we're starting off with Santa Claus is coming to town. This is, the origin of Santa. This is my like version in my head canon that I always think of. I don't think there's any other version that uh uh takes place in my head. So we have that. And then we have, where is it? A Year Without a Santa Claus. Oh, you've only seen Rudolph and Jack Frost forever. The Frost one I love so much. Where's Coca-Cola Santa? Coca-Cola Santa is actually gonna be for a different stream. So I'm doing like a tournament of power style stream where it's gonna be like every version of Santa versus each other where they're fighting. There's gonna be like Krampus. There's gonna be the Grinch. There's gonna be a lot that you don't expect that are gonna appear in this stream. I want to have like somebody beside me talking about like how powerful these different Santa are and like who would win against each other. But I have at least like I think like 30 or 40. Let me check real quick. How many do I have for this Santa Tournament of Power? 24 right now. Probably more at some point. The Billy and Mandy one's in there too. Thank you for the hydrate. Have you seen there's one that I was looking these up and I never heard of it before, but it's like the Adventures of Santa Claus or something like that, and I'd never heard of it before. That was part of this Rankin Bass stuff. Oh shit. Oh, okay, there it goes. I was like, why is everything freezing for a moment? But A Year Without Santa Claus would come next in here. Or at least it does in my head. I'm trying to work all out how all these would fit. What is this one? I don't know. I did see the Christmas in July, Rudolph and Frosty card. That's actually what I'm going to be talking about with this Rankin Bass like universe stuff. The Rankin Bass movies scared and traumatized me as a kid. Ever since I left the elf mines, I can still hear his voice. Why? Where are you not at elf practice? Oh, that guy. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, he was kind of scary. Where is the? Okay, but where did I drop these other things off? Oh, okay, that's where that is. Wait, why is this in the same? That makes no sense to me. Why is that in the same area? I don't know how I did that. Mr. Ice and Mr. Sun. He drank a lot. Are you telling me that you were an elf, Darcy, this whole time? You've been an elf? Explain your pointy ears. I gotta make room for all these movies that are gonna be coming up for here. I don't know why it's not clicking out of it. There we go. So why the hell is it not clicking out of it? All right, and then the next movie would be what's next? So we have Santa Claus Comes to Town, A Year Without a Santa Claus. I'd say Jack Frost takes place somewhere along the same time as Santa Claus is coming to town because he's like super old, and that movie takes place in like the past. Oh, it's not gonna let me upload it. Oh, I was a really bad kid, so they kidnapped me and made me an elf intern. Oh my god, that sounds terrible. It sounds like the worst internship ever. Yes, save that there. Save. Yeah, and then Jack Frost takes place same time as this right here. And let me connect these movies right here. And this is like same time right here. No, get out of here, ads. We don't need you. Oh, that's really weird. It says I only had like one today. Maybe it's because I streamed for like 8 hours last night that it only gave me like one excuse for no ads. Or maybe it's because it was a really long time since the ads. I didn't see that until just now. What's next? Next movie. Where's Rudolph? I think Rudolph's the next one I had planned to to get away by taking the Polar Express out of there, but Santa followed in tow, which is how the movie First Blood and Die Hard happened. Did you know they are documentaries? What? They're documentaries of your life. They drew first blood. And Rudolph takes place after the year without a Santa Claus. Where's this transformation button? Oh, there we go. I gotta move these again. Oh, is this just gonna not do what I want it to do? Okay. This this program is wacky, guys. I'll let you know that. I was talking about it last night, but like I still think this is really odd how everything works. I selected everything and I wanted to like mash them all together and then it wouldn't let me. It's like you have to do it singularly. You can't do it all at once. I gotta move this down even further than I thought. Because we have to put even more movies in between these ones. Okay. So what happens after Rudolph is the no wait. Frosty has to happen at the same time or sometime around because they do the crossover, right? They do a crossover with Frosty and Rudolph that we were talking about, where it takes place in like July. So I'm gonna say it takes place during the same time. A lot of these movies are gonna like either happen at the same time or around the same time to make sense for the crossovers in my head. Bruce Willis has a real lack of booba when trying to initiate me. By the time Santa did shave my head bald to put me into what are you talking about? Into the Elfinator chair. The Elfinator chair. That's interesting. Okay, okay. The next movie is the Rudolph Shiny New Year movie, which by the way, the synopsis of this movie is fucking crazy, by the way. I was reading it and the in the it's about like this vulture that steals baby New Year and the reason he doesn't he steals baby New Year is cuz he doesn't want to die. At the I think he has to like face the fact that he's going to die at the end of the movie. And like if baby New Year isn't at a certain location or something like that, it'll stay December 31st for forever. I think it's the plot. It's really weird and crazy. I did it again where it said it. I could snooze it once out of three times, but that that's so weird. Shut that. Shut that. A merry little Christmas. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. This is the one I wanted. There we go. Yeah, because this apparently takes place like pretty much right after the Rudolph movie. So we have Rudolph Shiny New Year, and then we have where are you at? Where are you at? Frosty and Rudolph crossover. Then we have these two. Oh, I didn't put the Frosty movie where he meets his wife. Dang it. I didn't find that one. That's just Frosty Returns, right? Where he like meets his wife and he makes out with her and he says, "This is my wife. I love my wife." All right. This is, I think, the timeline that I have for all these. I don't know if there's any other movies that I have in here that are from the Rankin Bass universe. Yeah, I think those are all the Rankin Bass movies that I have. Where it's like this is the beginning of like the Christmas timeline. So we have Santa and Jack Frost become like a thing. They're like hand in hand the people of the totems of Christmas. And then Santa ages so much that he gets to a point where he wants to not do Christmas. He's like, I'm tired. I've done this for years. And then the year's like, okay, Santa's not working this year. And after that, we have Rudolph and Frosty, where they both happen at the same time. And then we have Rudolph doing his Shiny New Year event. And then the crossover with Rudolph and Frosty, where things happen in July, and I don't remember exactly what happens in that movie. But all of this is in the past. So then we have Christmas Carol and A Wonderful Life, and then we have an offshoot universe with the Muppets, and the Muppets have another Christmas over here later on. As you can see, it's already becoming a very long timeline. All right, I'm gonna shrink the timeline again to make room for even more movies that we're gonna be talking about. Okay, so for our next movie that happens after A Wonderful Life in the main timeline is Christmas Story. The good old Christmas Story. This used to be funny enough. This was like the Christmas movie that my mom and my dad and all of us would watch every year. But then it changed to a Christmas Vacation. It's so weird to think that Christmas Story technically has like two sequels. Like one's like an unofficial one that like I think like Hallmark did or whatever, and then they did like an official one. So we have A Wonderful Life happens, and then like many years go by, and then Ralphie has to learn about uh, everything that happens around Christmas time, and his childlike wonder gets ruined. But then his whole thing is saved when his dad is awesome and is like, I had a gun in there when I was younger, something like that. But I'm trying to think how to connect this in my head. I know how I had it connected when I was young. Like this is like a few years back when I made this whole entire timeline. Oh my god, that's one that's actually gonna be talked about in the Santa uh the Tournament of Power one. Because there's also Santa Claus versus the Devil, which is freaking crazy. Santa Claus versus the Devil. He fought Martians. Now he's gonna fight the devil himself. And then I watched the one on Mystery Science Theater 3. Oh goodness, that's always a good show. I'm trying to think of who I had next. I think I had National Lampoon's next. National Lampoon's makes sense because this is a man trying to make he's trying to make a good Christmas for his family. He's trying to learn a lesson throughout it. It's not perfect. I can't make everything happen, but I do my best. He's learning a lesson much like Scrooge did back in the past, connecting it all. Then what did I have after this? I think I had Home Alone after this. Home Alone 1 and 2 happening after this. If I knew the exact dates in years, I should have wrote those down when I was making this list. Oh, you know what? Actually, Home Alone takes place like after something. Okay. Okay. Because I remember, because I think Home Alone, yeah, is like more. It's like in the 2000, like near the 2000s, if I'm right. It's like 1990 something. Okay. So we have John McClane over here. John McClane is related to the family in National Lampoons. He's like an uncle or something. We'll say that. And then Gremlin, I think either Gremlins happens the year before or after Die Hard. If somebody could look that up for me real quick, that would be amazing. Where's Gremlins? There you are, Gremlins. There we go. I'll say Gremlins is like right around here somewhere. I think it happens beforehand. That's what I want to say. So the Gremlins event happens. And then Die Hard. And then Home Alone. And now Die Hard and Home Alone are intrinsically connected because you're probably wondering, you're like watching Home Alone, you're like, how does Kevin McAllister know how to like set up traps? How does he know how to shoot all these guns and stuff? How does he? You're like, oh, he's just a kid with imagination. He watches a lot of TV or something. No, he has an uncle, Uncle John McClane, who taught him how to do things. That's my headcanon for how he knows how to do any of this crap. Because if you draw the parallels, it's like, oh, wait a minute. Like John McClane was like setting up traps and crap in Die Hard and like taking people down. And how does this little kid like Kevin McAllister know how to do that? And in my head, I'm like, oh, these characters are just related. They just never talk about the uncle because their family is so huge in Home Alone. And that's where I draw like the connections between this and this. Now, Gremlins is just an event that happens that causes like the universe to be like going crazier and crazier from here on out. Because like everything else is kind of like from right here, it's like magical events sort of happening and crazy stuff. But then once Gremlins happens, it's like, oh, that we're gonna go like all balls in, like crazy shit's gonna happen like every year. Once Gremlins gets introduced to the universe, uh, anything's possible. Smash all these down. And we're gonna go like down this way. Or actually, I'll just make this smaller again. This is becoming a longer and longer list. Okay, and then Home Alone 2 happens. You know, it's just the year after Kevin gets lost again, beats the crap out of Marv and Harry. Trying to remember their names. How is this a Christmas song? Sorry. It's just called Hallelujah. There we go. I say that song is not a Christmas song. All right. So Home Alone 2. And then what did I have next? Jingle All the Way. And now in my head, like Arnold's family is like another family related to Kevin's family as well. Of just a family of badasses at this point. You have you have Bruce Willis and you have Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then his movie, you know, it's about him being like the worst father ever, not getting his kid a gift for Christmas on time and like running around doing all his crap. And then the Turbo Man sequence happens in the movie, and then you're like, that's the best part of the movie. If you're like me. Also, the part where has anybody noticed like the mailman guy when he goes to fight Arnold's character, he shoots his fist out like it extends or whatever, and then it comes back and it works as like a functioning hand. And somebody like theorized he would have had to cut his hand off to make that even work. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like watching it, and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like if he went to go punch him, and then like it just extends out, and then like comes back. I don't get how that works. What movie was in that? I think I have. What did I have that was next in the timeline? I think it was just Home Alone 3. Home Alone 3 happens with the home invasion crap again. Can you guys believe that there's like 6 of these movies, by the way? There's 6 of these movies. Like 2 of them were like straight to DVD or like straight to TV movies. Put that down there. Like the newest one came out on I think Disney Plus. It wasn't even in theaters. Oh no, my sorry 3, I forgot my throwing system's not on right now. I forgot to turn it on during stream. How are you? I hope you're doing okay. We're being silly hoo-ha right now and I'm making theories of how all these Christmas movies connect right now. Mm. My voice is like drying out. So yeah, Home Alone 3, and then what did I have next? I know I had the Santa Claus. I have so many movies in here that I'm trying to like figure out where I had them at during this time. Big chilling, got today off. What are we doing? Okay. So I have a theory that like all the Christmas movies are connected in some way. Like I made a list of it like a long time ago, like a little timeline of like what takes place where. And so far, what we have is like all the Rankin Bass stop motion movies. Those are what happened, like originally. This is like the original timeline. Like you have Santa Claus comes to town with Jack Frost. Those are like the beginning of time where you have like your totems of the Christmas times being born, and you have a year without a Santa Claus where Santa just takes the year off, and Rudolph and Frosty happen at the same time. Then Rudolph saves New Year when there's a giant vulture that steals Baby New Year. And then Frosty and Rudolph have crossover. And that's all set in the past in my head. And then to start off like all these family like these family-esque Christmas movies, we have A Christmas Carol, like 1800s. You have Scrooge, and he's a piece of crap, and he has to learn his lesson through all three of the ghosts of past, present, and future. And that sets off like his time, like his family tree. Like everybody in his family has some kind of thing that happens at some point where they also have to go through that. So, A Wonderful Life, the guy in that, he gets visited by angels and gets taught a lesson. And then we have A Christmas Story, which that one's less like supernatural stuff happening and more the kid just like dealing with crap in his family at Christmas time. And then we have National Lampoon's Christmas, where kind of the same stuff happens, and and then it's like these two are the things where it like skips a generation of supernatural crap happening, more like wacky crap happening. And then we have Gremlins, where the Gremlins event just happens because there wasn't any like magical crap happening during here. So then the Gremlins attack during Christmas time, and like the Christmas after, Die Hard happens. And then I said that John McClane is related to Kevin McAllister of Home Alone, and that's why Kevin from Home Alone is able to set up traps and like shoot a gun and all these other things. Like he's intelligent in knowing how to do the things he is in the movie because his uncle was John McClane, but it's just never said. And then just we had like a redux of that happening in like the second movie. And then we have Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger like being another family that's related to the McAllisters and the McLeans here, and him having to like it's a mix of what happens back here where he has to learn a lesson because he's a piece of crap, and he has to go get a gift for his kid that he didn't get during Christmas times. So he learns his lesson there, and then all the way back here with Christmas Carol stuff, we have an offshoot universe, which is just the Muppet universe of Christmas stuff happening. So we have a Muppet Christmas Carol, and then a very Muppet, a very merry Muppet Christmas. I can't talk. And then continuing from the timeline, we go to Home Alone 3 with more home invasion crap happening. So now I'm just working on the rest of the timeline and what happens from there. Oh, I need to take a big stretch real quick though. After explaining all that, it's basically me going crazy trying to connect these movies. Oh yeah, I don't have a I don't have an uptime thingy. I just have a stretch redeem. Eep. Okay. So what comes after home? I trying to remember what came afterwards. I think I had the Santa Claus happening right afterwards. Oh, we've been live for like almost an hour. So that's how if you wanted to know, that's how long. Last night I was on for almost 8 hours. Can you believe that? You know what's weird though is I restarted my stream, but for some reason Twitch showed me that it was all 8 hours together. I was like, what? That's weird. It never usually does that. It usually like breaks it up. So that was really odd. Like looking at that. But I think they were just like you streamed so closely together each time that we're just gonna count it all together. Okay. I think Twitch has started to do stream time per day rather than each individual go live prompt recently. Yeah, that's much better, honestly. That way I know how long I've been going for. All right, this is like the start of kind of like a Santa timeline here of like a new Santa. So we have Scott Calvin, the Santa murderer, as I would like to call him. Goes outside, he surprises Santa, kills him, takes his coat, thinks none the wiser, and then takes Santa's job. Little does he know that later down in this timeline, the same thing is going to happen to him, that he will be replaced by other Santas. So we have Santa Claus 1, Santa Claus 2, where Doll Santa comes in and he tries to take his place. I just noticed these are almost like the same face right here. Go back. This face and this face right here. Imagine if this is after the Santa finally came back from vacation, back on the job, first day, gets jump scared and heckin' dies. Or he's 1 day from retirement. So that way the cops can come in and be, or no, the elf cops come in and like, damn it, he was 1 day from retirement. And you killed him, Scott Calvin, you piece of crap. And like one of the elves just tries to get into a fight with him. He's just so hot headed. He's like, calm down, Murphy, calm down. You can't beat up the new boss. Like, I'm sorry. 1 day left on the force, and you murdered him. Exactly. And this piece of shit right here. Look at him. You think that's a face of surprise? No. It's a face of, oh no. Oh no, what have I done? It's the face of a killer, exactly. And he'll kill again. By the way, I was looking up games, and this is the only game from this series, I think. There's no other games around its time. And I was thinking of playing it on the channel, but after playing Polar Express for the Game Boy and having like the most agonizing time with that, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, nope, we're done. We're going to be drawing the rest of the day. Okay, so we have Santa Claus 1, 2, and 3 happen. Oh, I forgot to throw in. There's okay. Here's a movie that we can throw into to the timeline at some random point. Batman Returns. So we have Batman entering this universe of Christmas time. And I'm going to say Batman Returns takes place somewhere in like the 80s, right? I'm gonna say it happens like I'm gonna say it happens same time as the Gremlins. So no, somewhere in between here. Santa didn't actually die. He faked his death and vanished, just like that. Uh, you know what's funny about that three? In the DC comics, they have like they had a Christmas event last year, and they're doing it this year. Like they're doing a sequel series. But Batman was apparently trained by Santa at one point, and that's why he's like so good at disappearing and crap. They like trying to give him like a canon reason for being in there. Like it's very silly, but I love it at the same time. Just Santa being this badass who at some point trained Batman. Sorry, my coworker just texted me. I forgot to turn off my phone's alerts. So yeah, Batman Returns happens like in between here. There we go. Which means that Batman, the original one, took place somewhere as well before here. But I'm not putting it on here because it's not a Christmas movie. I mean, Santa is the one person who can break into the strongholds, the fucking apocalypse to give. Dark. Yeah, right. That shit was funny. Where he just trolled. He's just like, "Oh, I got through like all your defenses and crap just to give you a piece of coal." He's much more stronger than the Marvel Santa. Marvel Santa got corrupted by the Infinity Gauntlet and tried to fight the Avengers. He couldn't handle that raw power of the universe. We're gonna fit another movie in here. Ernest Saves Christmas. Now, how I'm gonna fit this one in here is all right. Where's the button? There it is. Okay. I'm gonna say that Ernest Christmas takes place before Santa Claus because he helps Santa in this movie and everything. But he's the Santa. Let's say he's the Santa that Tim Allen kills. So Santa has to first. This Santa that dies in this movie has to deal with Ernest first on this Christmas before he dies, and he's like, "Oh, thank goodness, I don't have to deal with Ernest anymore." And then he gets killed by Tim Allen. I just think it's funny that way. She's like, "Thank goodness, I gotta deal with that buffoon," and just immediately is like frightened and dies. Then I need like a cross off list of what I've put on here. Deck the halls. I think I had next. Kind of happens around the same time, or a little bit after the Santa Claus movies. Oh, I don't want to turn it. Why is it making me turn this? There we go. two neighbors fighting each other through the Christmas times, trying to prove uh who's better, instead of actually celebrating the Christmas times and whatnot. It's another thing where they have to learn a lesson, come together. Fits the timeline, I feel. And Christmas with the Cranks. Now, okay, okay, you see Tim Allen here, right? You're like, wait a minute. How can he exist when he's already the Santa Claus, right? Well, let's just say he made a little switcheroo at some point. He looked at somebody else and said, "I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die like that other Santa." Exactly, witness protection. He said, "Look, I'll take your identity if you want to be Santa to some uh some chum." Cuz in the movie it's like some umbrella salesman, and the umbrella salesman like kind of messes with him throughout the movie. So in my head canon, what it is that guy like kind of getting back at him for giving him the job. But like Tim Allen's memory is like gone, so he doesn't remember. He's like, "Why is this Santa guy messing with me?" So the secret reason is because he's like, "You piece of crap! You gave me the Santa job, and you didn't tell me that that I die at the end. Somebody has to kill me at the end to become Santa." And then Elf. I'll say that Elf takes place after Christmas with the Cranks, and the Santa that's in Christmas with the Cranks, he just gets bigger because he's like really small and skinny looking in that movie. But we're gonna say that he got bigger, he got tougher, he got more powerful, and he ended up being an elf, and he had to raise up this human boy to become an elf. Is Fred Claus in this time? It is actually. I was gonna say Fred Claus is probably the next one that I was gonna talk about. Yeah. So we have Fred Claus. Now this one, I know their origin is like they grew up in like the 1800s or whatever, right? But like it's never explained how like Fred like navigated the world in the way that he did. Cuz like when they grew up or whatever, it like shows like the far past is what it seems like. They never touch on like how old he is, I don't think. So what I'm just gonna say is that they grew up in like a secluded place, and that the Fred Claus Santa is one of the he's like the elf Santa's son. That's what I'm gonna say. Like the reason the world looks so secluded at the start of Fred Claus is because it's just the North Pole. That's my head canon. So we have this new Santa that got replaced. Uh, like Tim Allen switched off. He's like, okay, you got to take my identity or whatever, and then you can be Santa, and tricks him, and then he goes through the events of the Elf movie, and then he has a kid, and then it ends up being the brother of Fred Claus. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm gluing this all together pretty much. Then what do I have next? I gotta put all the movies I haven't put on here in a little thingy here for a minute. I said we don't have too many more movies to connect in here, but I know we have a few. Okay. The next movie to happen in this timeline. Okay, Nightmare Before Christmas isn't the next one, but I'm gonna put it somewhere on the timeline. Try to make it make sense. I would say it probably happens somewhere in between the Deck the Halls crap here. It's just Tim Allen Santa uh just animated. Is what it is. That's what I'm gonna say. The Tim what if it's this? This is the actual reason that I'm gonna come up with it. So what happens is that Tim Allen Santa has to deal with Jack Skellington, and he just becomes so traumatized from the experience that he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. So he just pawns off being Santa to somebody else. Oh, no, that's not what I do. No, why is it doing that? Oh, did it put it in the same? That's so weird. Why did it put it in the same thing? Did I accidentally? Okay, there we go. I was like, why did it do that? I think I accidentally merged the layers. So Tim Allen Santa is just traumatized from the Halloween Christmas event, the Nightmare on Christmas. So then sometime during the Deck the Halls events where we've just followed these guys doing their thing, Santa trades places with somebody, goes into witness protection, and the new Santa takes over for these two movies, and then another Santa takes over for the Fred Claus stuff. And then Polar Express. Polar Express takes place in like the past, right? It surely looks like it does when you're watching it because the animation is so bad. No, I'm kidding. The animation is fine for its time. When you see those CG faces now, it's like that's scary because it's like it's not quite like modern times or whatever. So maybe it takes place during somewhere in between here, A Wonderful Life and Christmas Story. I want to say. Just one year, the a member of this family gets put onto the Polar Express. Stick it right there because it's gonna be hard to like edit this all out here. Or no, wait, I could just put it. Could do what I did with the Batman one. Put it like right here. All right, and this takes place right there. No, wait, then it's gonna be like right next to the Muppet crab. Oh no, I have a predicament here. I guess. Okay. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to mash these up And then, oh crap! I just realized I mashed all that up by accident. And then, okay, okay. All right, mash these up down here. I gotta cut around this here. To fit the Polar Express in there somehow. I gotta do it like that. This is the problem with forgetting how my list worked. Because I know I had like everything work right when I had the original one. I wish I could have found it so that way I kind of had the blueprint for this whole thing. But you know what? We're working with it. We're figuring it out. I'm remembering my crazy ramblings. All right, so we got Scrooge. Guy goes back and like looks back at his life, all the good things he did, and then the world without himself. Then a kid gets abducted onto the Polar Express. Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, Gremlins, Batman, Die Hard, Home Alone 2, Jingle All the Way, go all the way down here. Home Alone 3, Ernest, Santa Claus 2, 3, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Deck the Halls, Christmas with the Cranks, Elf, Fred Claus. Now, what happens after Fred Claus is more Home Alone. When I look at this cover, it just looks like they photoshopped his eyes to be bigger. They don't look correct at all. It looks like they like made them more anime-esque, and I don't like it. It scares me. Puts shivers down my spine. And as much as I don't like to know that these movies exist, I've seen them and I know that they exist. So now they have to exist in this timeline, which is unfortunate. And Home Alone 5 happens, which I actually haven't seen this one, but I know that it's terrible from what I've heard. And I don't think the kids are even alone at home for most of the time. It's just Home Alone in name alone. Home Alone 5 happens right here, and nothing happens in it. All right, and then we got a couple movies here where a lot of interesting crap happens. So for the next one, we have. Oh, where'd that go? Where'd that go? I just had that. Where'd that go? Oh, they were hidden behind this. That's why. All right, the next one we have Jim Carrey's The Grinch. This happens all in the same universe, but because it's Horton Hears a Who logic. It all happens on a small speck somewhere else. Because apparently that's like the Who averse, the Hooniverse or whatever, the Seussiverse, all takes place in some parallel universe within our own. Like they're existing alongside us. So yeah, the Grinch exists along with us, guys. It's kind of a scary thought, don't you think? Put this all the way down here. Should I put like a blue circle around it, being like, this is alternate or parallel universe? Put a like a little thing here where it's like it's on a flower, but it's technically alongside all of this main timeline stuff in my head. And then the Jack Frost movie, another Jack Frost movie, but this one's much more sad, and it was actually really good. And I hadn't seen it until last year. I didn't realize how good of a movie it was. I was just like, damn. Because people had talked about it, but I was like, I don't know. Then I watched it and I was like, damn. We could even come up with the fact that since it's Michael Keaton and we have Batman Returns on here, maybe it's Bruce Wayne when uh he retired and went into witness protection as well. And then he dies and becomes Jack Frost. And then for an even more stretched out thing for how it connects to the other movies, we could say it connects to the Grinch in that the snowflake or whatever that the Grinch movie takes place on is one of the snowflakes that gets put inside the snowman for Jack Frost, making him even more special. And then we have we have 6 movies here we gotta talk about. So then we have the Legend of Frosty. This one's a good one. I like this movie. It's like the most modern Frosty movie that's come out. Had the guy who voiced Patrick voicing him. But Frosty returns, it's modern times. It's time for him to come back, especially after the events of Jack Frost. Oh my god, what? What, Jay? Ha, take the nice freaking Siri bot, just smack that fucking spam bot out of here. Hell yeah. I'm glad I freaking downloaded Siri bot. No, unfortunately, I don't know much about that one. I didn't see it. I should have. Uh, I need to go on like a watch for all these other Christmas movies to add them into this timeline. So that way it's like even more convoluted. That would make it like 10 times better. Okay, and then all right. What do we got here? We've got Arthur Christmas. So for this one, for the timeline, so our last Santa that we saw was the Fred Claus Santa, and we're gonna say he's like this one here. He's the old or no, he's this one here. He's this Santa, but he's about ready to find his heir. It's either gonna be Arthur or it's gonna be his brother, who I don't even remember his name. But like, if you've never seen this movie, by the way, it's actually really good. But we have all these representations of Santa in this, and they even show like that Santa has been passed down from one person to another. It's been like a family thing. Family. But that's actually a cover up, because they're not telling you that the way to become Santa is that you have to kill the other Santa. There can only be one. It's like Highlander. Can you imagine that? Just a Highlander, but it's like all Santas. And then what happens after this one? Because in this Arthur Christmas, we're like introduced to all this high tech crap and stuff like that. So I mean, it only makes sense that what would happen around this time is Iron Man 3, right? It makes sense that like Santa probably got some tech from Tony Stark, so that way he could start delivering these presents like a lot faster, a lot better. He's got some nanotech shit probably. And Tony has to face the Mandarin as well during one of these Christmases. Thanks. Also, I mean, it makes sense. We've already had Batman show up in this universe as well. And plus, Michael Keaton is in the Marvel universe as well as Vulture. So, I mean, maybe he like got reincarnated. After he died as Jack Frost, he got reincarnated as the Vulture. And then he was just a bad guy. Bad guy, quote unquote. He's not actually a bad guy. Like the It's like the Wreck-It Ralph theory thing, where it's like he's a bad guy, but he is not bad guy. And then, since the Avengers exist in this universe, it only makes sense that if this works, the Guardians also exist, and not the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Guardians of the seasons. We got Sandman, we got the Tooth Fairy, we got fuck boy Jack Frost, we got the Easter Bunny, and then Santa himself. But this is a Russian Santa. This is like a hidden Santa we didn't know about, like the of the original mythos. And he's been part of the Guardians the whole time. And they finally come out and they're like, "We're also Avengers." And they have to fight the Boogeyman. And he's like their Loki for this movie. So like parallel events happening in the same universe, but just holiday related. And then we come to like the coolest Santa ever, Kurt Russell Santa from the Christmas Chronicles. Look at this guy. He's badass looking. Uh-oh. Accidentally copied something else. There we go. And he's the most recent Santa besides who played Santa in Red 1? There's a new movie called Red 1 that I'm not even going to see cuz it I don't know. I just don't want to see it. Is that like Chris Evans, The Rock? No, The Rock doesn't play him. It's J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons plays him. Yeah. I'm gonna say Kurt Russell is the main. He's the main one right now in my head because he had two movies. He had Christmas Chronicles 1 and 2. Maybe if they make another Red 1, they make it Red 2. Red 2. Except for there's already a movie called Red 2. And that's the Bruce Willis movie where he's like the old guy or whatever. And then Home Sweet Home Alone, where the bloodline has soiled so much from the McAllisters. Or no, wait, this is I remember. They actually do make a canon reason. See if we're closing. Yeah. Yeah. Have you never heard of this one? So Home Sweet Home Alone is like it's technically in canon for the old movies because Buzz shows up at like one point and then just says like one sentence where he's like, "Oh yeah, my brother got like he got stuck home one Christmas." So technically it's in canon and it will cap off everything. But this kid in this movie is such a jerk. Like the movie is actually about like these two parents trying to get a doll back that they thought he stole, and then he's just beating the crap out of them, and you feel bad for them the whole time. So that's what we're capping off with. Yeah, that's actually on here. It's right here. I think that's it anyway. Because Take Back the House, I think is the fourth one. I was saying it's really crazy to think. Yeah, it's Disney, dude. It's Disney that made that one. And they released it just straight to Disney Plus. So that's why nobody knows about it. It was advertised to me though like crazy on YouTube. I know that. So this is our timeline. We have the Rankin Bass stuff happening at the very beginning of time where it's all claymation and whatnot. And eventually everything somewhat turns realistic looking, which is actually funny because we have like the Christmas Carol Disney Jim Carrey thing right here. What year did that bad Christmas Story sequel come out? Oh, I don't know, dude. There's two. Did you know that? There's two. There's Christmas Story, I think, and then there's a Christmas Story 2. Yeah, there's two. It's weird thinking about that. The Christmas story came out recently. I think that's what it's called, a Christmas story, which I hate that it's called that. Yeah, because I know Christmas Story 2 was like a straight to TV movie. They were making all the straight to TV sequels because they also did Jingle All the Way too with Larry the Cable Guy. But I haven't seen any of that. So like most of the time it's like stuff that doesn't relate. Oh, it's called A Christmas Story Christmas. Oh, still, I mean that's a really stupid title. It's very like uh repetitive and I hate that. I'm just like I just call it A Christmas Story like 3 or Another Christmas Story. Something like that to at least like distinguish it. Cuz Christmas Story Christmas is like I don't know. It's stupid sounding. But what do you guys think? What do you think of this timeline that I have? I'll probably make it more linear so it's not like boop boop boop. But like it's pretty crazy. Like claymation to weird stuff happening here, action packed crap, more magic stuff and straight to video things, and then ending off with like Avengers level crap happening at the end. Oh, but yeah, this is pretty much all I had planned for the stream. I like the before the time are entirely stop motion, right? That's how I think about a lot of things. It's like it's like the universe is just being molded like literally in this timeline. Everybody's just like, why did it look like that back then? It's just like, that's because Christmas time was just happening. It was just all being started off in this way. And then we got to like motion capture crap happening here, and then like old timey movies, and then puppetry as well, with the Muppets universe being like a side universe. So it's all like some artistic thing starting out the whole universe. Because we even have like Gremlins being like stop motion stuff, and like robotics in a way. Because I think Gizmo had like robotic stuff in him when they were making him, talking about him. It it's funny knowing like they were puppets, yeah, yeah, but they had like mechanical stuff in them, I think. Because I think they were talking about how they pretty much had like a bunch of stuff in them that they were trying to pilot. Uh, I actually have that one. I don't know why I didn't put it in here. Where is it? Where is it at? There it is. I don't know why I didn't put it in here. Charlie Brown Christmas. It always takes place in modern day. No matter what, it always takes place in modern day. You can't tell what time place it is. Charlie Brown Christmas is a branching timeline because that starts the entire Peanuts timeline off. Yeah, but they've made modern Peanut stuff. I like to think that the Peanuts universe just runs alongside ours, or it's like they're in their own town, and just whatever happens there happens in that town, and it's like just a like an isolated like incident or whatever, and somebody comes across it and is like, what? It was the first Peanuts animated feature, so all the Peanuts cartoons after that stem from the. Is it really? I didn't know that. I thought I thought there were things before it. Is that actually true? That's actually kind of crazy. Huh. Yeah, that's actually new knowledge to me. But I like to think now that I've made the decision that it always takes place in modern day, is that it just keeps like every other Christmas movie that comes out, the Christmas thing. Oh, hi Vika. Hello everybody. Hi. Oh my goodness, this is Big Raid. Hi, hello everybody. How are you doing? Hi, I'm Hikaruhiroki, the Cosmic Oni. Uh, for this month, I am Horse Karu, so I look a little different. How are you doing though? Holy crap, buddy. Welcome on in. Oh my god, I gotta explain what I'm doing here. Oh, thank you, three Spade for the follow. Thank you so much. I came for your bones. You should have given me your bones. I want your bones. Give me. You want my bones? You want my boner? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying, Vika? You can't have my boner. I don't have one. Look. It's Omega Spade. Oh, okay. What? You heard me. You said bones. I had to make the joke. People keep asking me if I have a horse pee-pee, and I tell them no every time. By the way, ads are coming in a minute, so if you're not one to look at the ads, just giving a heads up. And what if she did? I don't know. People keep asking if you're. Wait, no, they don't. That's new. That's new information. Also, Vika, if you need to go take a break, please do. I understand. Streaming for a long time it's tough. It's tough. So if you need to go take a break, please do. Thank you for dropping off your viewers here and sharing them with me. I'm going on insane ramblings right now about how all of these different Christmas movies connect. And they're probably off at the ads right now. All right. I hope you get something good then. Thank you again for dropping by. I appreciate you so much. You're awesome. You're amazing. You're the buggiest of VTubers, and you have a lovely voice, and you make lovely art. Oh, Papa Sim, thank you for the follow. We're really close to 400. No ads for me? Yo, let's go. No ads. Let's say I always try to make the ads like very minimal anyway, because I don't want Twitch to get like a bunch of freaking money. Oh, sorry. Yeah, my throwing system's off right now because this PC is kind of pretty much like going to crap. I did just recently buy a new PC though, so that's exciting news. Bye bye. Thank you for stopping on by. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. But anyways, basically we just went through a whole thing of me explaining how all of these Christmas movies are connected. And I was like going on a mad rambling of how everything is just like one after the other connected. Yeah, they should be done here soon. Let's say ads should be done. All right. Hopefully the ads are done. Sorry about that. I can't do anything about like 30 seconds of ads, unfortunately. If I could have no ads at all, I would. But that would mean I can't get paid by you guys if you wanted to do subscriptions and crap. So hopefully you guys are back and can hear what I'm saying about how I connected all these together. A long time ago, I just for funds, I was like, what if all of the Christmas movies connected in some way? Even movies that aren't essentially Christmas movies, they take place around Christmas. So we have like Batman Returns up there, or we have Iron Man 3. Like all these just different things that are happening in the same timeline in my own head. Or like certain families being related to one another, like John McClane from Die Hard is related to Kevin McAllister from Home Alone, and that's why Kevin McAllister knows how to like take out people with like a gun or like these traps because his uncle McClane taught him how to, because he went through somewhat of an experience like that, but of a much bigger scale. You ever think about that? How pretty much like Die Hard is Home Alone, but at a bigger scale, and he just can't get out of the house. He's just stuck in there with a bunch of terrorists. Home Alone is a smaller scale Die Hard. And then yeah, just explain how the Rankin Bass movies like started off everything. where we were making a joke about how it was like everything was literally molded at this time, and then kind of just started going off with how all these movies get crazier and crazier the farther you go. Iron Man 3 probably Iron Man Rise of the Guardians probably being like the craziest of the two, because you have freaking superheroes for both of them. Big stretch and hydrate, since somebody hydrated me. I don't think I hydrated when somebody did that. All right. I got my sippies in. But yeah, if you guys should give me like your own opinions on like what movies would fit in here, or send something my way. Maybe next year I could like make an even bigger list of how crazy uh like how many more movies fit in here, because we have at least 44 movies all connecting in a way. We have only one alternate universe at the moment, with the Muppets being an alternate universe. But then like the rest of everything happens in the main universe. But besides that, this is all I kind of wanted to do for this stream. So I think we're gonna go find somebody to raid. I know we just got raided ourselves, but I am tired. Like I streamed for 8 hours last night, and I think it's still even affecting me now. I also went out and did Christmas shopping, so that took a little bit out of me. Thank you for everybody who joined me today for just this kind of short stream of me rambling off about what connects to what and what does uh, like just me being odd and weird. So let me go find somebody. You guys could probably tell that this is very probably off the cuff is the word I want to come up with there, because I didn't really have a lot of time to prep all of this week because work was very tough. Oh, my buddy Jet is streaming right now. We're gonna go raid him. We're gonna raid another Pomp brother. Raid Jet Midoriya. Jet is no, Jet's name is not capitalized. All right. He's playing Moonlighter right now. He's playing a dungeon crawler. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for this little crazy stream. Next week, we should have some more stuff planned out. We're going to be doing a web fishing collab with Jet, Death, and Andi. They're my Pomp crew. So we're just going to be chilling out, playing that. And I think I have some other games that I have planned, but I'll let you all know. If you want to be updated, we do have a Discord. So if you want to join the Discord, there it is. We chill out in there. We try to watch stuff when we can. It's been very busy this month, so haven't had much time. But next week, I should actually have time to set up a watch along since I'll be on vacation right after next week or by the end of it. So thank you all for joining me, and let's go give Jet some hugs because he's awesome.